Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to you wherever you are, whatever time it is when you listen to this. Welcome to my channel. All right, so this is going to be for Life Past Six. Life Past Six. I didn't say it in the other videos, but I feel preempted to say it in this one, primarily because Life Past Six does a lot with organization, how organized one is, and in addition to that, how uh, their health and your health being your wealth. Okay, Life Path 6. So there's that. The other portion of it is going to be about how it is you organize and calculate things because that's really important with being a part of that mindset, right? Of being organized or being a part of an organization. It's also given how some of these life path readings would be applying to businesses and where they would be in the businesses and things of that nature. So what I really want to kick into for you is a few different things it is that could be going on right now, some possible solutions, and just realistically exploring a few different options, okay, to help you out just a little bit. All right. All right. So, of course, not all readings are going to resonate with everyone. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. That is okay. That simply means that this reading isn't for you, all right? And if it don't fit, don't force it. If it does, don't ignore it. All right. Yeah. Sing the song. If it don't fit, don't force it. Just relax and let it go. Just 'cause that's how you want it doesn't mean it will be so. If it don't fit, don't force it. All right. All right. But if it does, don't ignore it. All right. So let's see. First, we're going to explore what's going on in like the spiritual contract and regular contracts and things of that nature. You can apply this to love, business, or whatever, what have you. But be mindful that that's what you're applying this to. All right. Okay. And see how it is that it would manifest to, with, and for you. All right. All right. I just heard when this card flipped out, it'll be in regards to some past life situations. Okay. And right when I said that, or right when I heard that, it was this Queen of Swords in reverse. And sure, how one wouldn't have planned, been meticulous, wouldn't have instituted thought, so to speak. Okay. I'm saying thought, so this is going to be about thought, with one knowing more what it is that one would know more about in regards to one not rushing in and there being investigations. Oh my, dang. With the expansion of the tower. So this is some endings of some third party situations. And yeah, the tower moment that comes with what it is, I was going to say, what it is that will be celebrated within a bad investment. Some of it's going to be about bad investments. Some of it's going to be about some situations that would have taken place several years ago, and several seeds it is that would be planted, or even what constitutes as an investment in regards to one being attractive, as well as being assertive versus being aggressive, and what it is to heal an attraction. Oh, excuse me. To heal an attraction that would come with the King of Wands. So being the king and queen of wands of attraction. It's giving the whole law of attraction aspect that's kind of coming into place with this. Some of the other things it is that will be going on is in this higher order aspect of a building, what it is to be in a building versus being in Capricorn essence. To be in the building, as they say. This is it. What's your what is Yeah, because what is given is what is the building structure, and how one would build a structure. It's also given a whole architect, or the architect aspect that comes into place with Taurus essence, how it is that one would build stability and things of that nature, and the ambitions that come into place with it, and how it's an investment and not necessarily, yeah, and an incomplete emotional cycle. It's, yeah, it wouldn't be a stable emotional cycle. And a different way of doing things. Yeah, the nesting and getting ready. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Yeah, one of the decks that keep want to come out so bad though, y'all, yeah, is in the deviant way of doing things or different way of doing things. One thing I will say, life past six, so is that according to society, yeah, everything will constitute as a deviant or different way of doing things. Yeah, because society want the whole control mechanism that you would have to face, that will come into place with things. Okay. Yeah, even with the whole knowing more aspect and what goes into fire magic. Yeah, the whole fire magic aspect. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, and how there will be an expansion of sexuality is one of them, but devil essence. Yeah, some of it is kind of giving the whole. Is it considered lust? Is or how it would be considered lust when it's a third party situation, and that would have been a bad investment in saying that it was a third party situation or a celebration, when the reality of it would be a person being married to themselves. Yeah, a person being married to themselves. That's the whole. Yeah, that's the deviant way of doing things with being when you're balancing out your masculine and feminine essence, and when you as an individual hold all the portions of mother, maiden, crone, so to speak, as well. But some of this other stuff is going to be about the tower moment that comes, that would have come with March being a bad investment, and March 7 years ago, which makes a lot of sense because several years ago, March would have been when the Cancer Capricorn axis was in place. That's what this is talking about. Yeah, and how it would have been interpreted as the Cancer Capricorn axis, but really it would have been the Capricorn Cancer axis. Yeah, and that whole villain era and all that other stuff that would have come into place with knowing that something is complete. Within knowing one, a cycle is complete, and there being independence within the attraction of protection, or being single and protected, and that being love. Yeah, okay. One of the things that I'm gonna go ahead and say, because it's like it's coming out, life past six, you need to pay attention to how it is you treat an independent person or a single person versus how it is you would treat a person who's in some sort of relationship. This is what I mean by it. Relationships are very important. They are. But in the along your life, you need to really evaluate what would have taken place in the celebrations and of others versus the celebration of yourself. And do you celebrate yourself or do others celebrate you? Right? So it's that part. The other part of it is going to be in regards to what happens in the spiritual aspect when you know that something is complete and love is on the horizons, right? And within one being attracted in this whole feminine aspect, Queen of Wands and everything, how realistically love shouldn't be left by the wayside is one. And two, whether a person is attractive or not, they still need to be protected. Is realistically what that's given. It shouldn't matter if you get something out of it. It's coming up, so I'll talk about it. One of the things that was that came that happened, right, is realization that it's one of those, how one will only protect what's theirs, and nobody, yeah, defending for oneself, yeah, the survival of the fittest and all this other stuff is kind of what's going on, what's coming up with that. So you want to pay attention to that in regards to what it is that will happen within one, looking inside themselves, and whether or not they're isolated or extroverts, introverts, ambiverts, things of that nature. And even in, yeah, the rising sign is kind of what it's given about how one would present, how things would be present, not presented, but how one would be present in a situation with dealing with the slow move, with how slow things would move in regards to one being able to go on another day with this whole nine of wands aspect. Yeah, and this clearing out is about the unconditional love that would come not only in the communication but in the abundance of communications about love, and whether or not you've organized what love is and isn't. And according to this major arcana, yeah, it's this shattering aspect of what, when a person is attractive, how they, yeah, how it's perceived as a bad investment, being high maintenance. 11:33 when I said that. What a person, what it is for a person to be high maintenance. Okay, if you, it don't matter where, if you can't afford it, you just can't afford it. That's not complicated. That's real simple. And when it comes to this whole star aspect or humanitarian, Aquarius, or healing the world, right? Yeah, because what it's given is the whole, I can't compete with that. Let me go ahead and say this right now. Life Path 6, you should not be competing at all. That's the first thing you messing up with. Because love, realistically, what this is given is that there being a love of competition, so to speak. Yeah, and if you're going to apply this mm, love of competition to romance, you gonna have a problem. Not because what I'm hearing is the song from Escape. Everybody cheats, but you gotta know how. You gotta know when. Gotta know why my infatuation with you is taking me on an emotional high. I caught all up in this love affair, baby. Speculation will bring us stairs. All our friends keep asking me about it, but the truth I can't reveal. And then she hits that really high note with saying reveal, right? Yeah, that's what this is about. Being a person's little secret. Yeah, and the reality of when you're a person's secret admirer, or yeah, ensure whether or not you're willing to put it on display, put it on blast or not. All right, so life past 6. What you trying to figure out what you should and shouldn't tell about love? Well, and here's the deal that comes into place even with that. If you can't tell who you love, uh, tell people who you love, or when you're developing it. Realistically, one of the things that was coming to me, right? Yeah, was there's a practice in my family, and since it's been practiced so long, it could constitute as tradition. Make note of that. When something is practiced for a really long time, that's what turns it into a tradition. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's an actual tradition. And families have different traditions, but in my family, one of the things we do is when a person moves, we don't go into their space for about a good 3 months, at least 3 months, okay, so that they can get the space the way it is that they want it, and yeah, everything can be comfortable for them and everything and everybody. All right, yeah, because you don't want a lot of essences lingering from varying people, hello, from various people, all because you want to share your space. And when you first get it, if you automatically open up the doors and have housewarmings and stuff, it's no longer your space, right? It's the space for everybody to come in. That, yeah. So there's that portion. Yeah, and it could bring a lot of essence and energies and attachments and all this other kind of shit from other people, right? Who could be masking themselves, who could or would be masking themselves. Absolutely. So you got to pay uh attention to the details. And I'm saying pay attention to the details. Yeah, but it's genuinely given the payment of, is this about an Airbnb? Hmm. Okay. So pay attention to those different things. And within the influence of there being different conflicts, the conflict moving, and how it is in the, I heard retrospect. Yeah, and how in retrospect, so that means that you will have to review what it is that would be the conflict in one movement. And it'll be about the King of Swords. It'll be about the thoughts and the actions. Yeah, the thoughts that come into place with things. As it, yeah, this is about the whole clearing out aspect and what it is to be a King of Swords in the upright versus a King of Swords in the reverse. Huh, but one would have been alive in the upright, but in, yeah, in death they would be in the reverse, or they would be karmic. Oh my. So there's that portion. The other part of it, yeah, with King of Swords, one of the things it's kind of given is fencing. Fencing and fences. And I do love Denzel Washington with that. Like you. I don't have to like you. You think he paid me because he liked me? He paid me because that's what's due to me. That's what that's about. That's what that's about. And the reality of it is, yeah, even in that speech that he had with his son, realistically, he was giving him facts of life with the unexpected income as a judgment, and there being sudden wealth. Yeah, so it's not about whether or not you, yeah, the unexpected outcome as a judgment. It's not about whether or not you like a person. It's about what it is that would be due to them and the work it is that would be done, especially with the whole architecture aspect, architecture, structure, ambitions that would be aligned, and in the investigations of how it is that things would have expanded. Um, with a third party situation, and that wouldn't have been, and that would have been 7 years ago. In short, yeah, and why is that that would have been, there would have been an ambition for expansion. Yeah, and sure, what the real reason for, what's the real reason for you, for one wanting to branch out, is ultimately what that boils down to. You got Ladybug as an overall essence. All right, we're going to review these spirit animals that this will be pertaining to, and then we're going to close out, do a summarization and close out the reading. All right, guys. All right, Ego Mastery. You're on a spiritual journey. You are on a spiritual journey beyond the sky. Let go of the past and soar. You are guided by the winds of spirit. Your wisdom inspires the world. Swan and Grace. You who glides across the waters of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. Dolphin. Swim in the happy joy of living. Inhale confidence and exhale fear. Dive into your wisdom and go with the flow. Grizzly Bear. Excuse me. I am indestructible. I honor my intuition and I go where it leads. Love and gentleness are my real strength. I never get up. I will succeed. B community. This B community keep coming up. You want to know why the B community keep coming up? Because there's so many beings in such a tiny space. That's what that's going to be about. You are a powerful creator. Your work blesses everything you touch. Be open to receiving sweetness. You are the queen of abundance. That's there. Now, here's the deal that comes into place with this. Ultimately, what the animals are saying is, yeah, pay attention to not only what you hunt, but why you would hunt. And it'll be, I heard keep what you kill. Yeah, and that'll be the reason why a lot of people is in those people who are higher up, right? The humility that comes with making sure you check your ego and check yourself before somebody else has to do it. And just for kicks, because it's coming to me with this whole eagle and mastery, how the United States is represented by a bald eagle, when the reality of it was that Benjamin Franklin, he had suggested that's that tower moment aspect in the electricity, but how Benjamin Franklin realistically said that we should be represented by a wild turkey opposed to an eagle. Yeah, because, well, part of it I will say would be indicative of understanding the nature of those people that he was dealing with, uh, and in the shedding process that comes into place with being an eagle. Yeah, and it's going to be about the shedding process with this Aquarius aspect and Pluto being in Aquarius. But in any event, um with the process for an eagle, it has two options, right? It gets to a certain age and it does one or two things. It either dies or it goes through this painful ass process so it can continue to live. It breaks off all its nails, it breaks off its nose, it, yeah, all of the feathers fall off, but once it's finished with that process, it's reborn. Right now, it doesn't do like the phoenix would do, so to speak, and burns to ashes and then is reborn from the ashes. Is just restructured for the rest of, yeah, so that it can continue to be strong for the rest of its life. Okay, so as an overview, basically within the attraction that comes with one's thoughts of love and there being a wealth of it, there being good luck, all right, and you are a bright energy. Let where we go and be happy here and now. For a moment, choose joy, right? Is basically what that's reinstituting. Feel good about being a loving and colorful you. You bless the world with color and good luck. That's the ladybug, all right? So I'm going to seal this reading. If you would like to, I'm going to close and seal this reading. If you like to schedule your own personal touch of clarity, you are more than welcome to do so at Lightwork Ain't Lightwork LLC at gmail.com, all right? Because, see, remember, light work, it ain't like work. It is not light work. It's not light work. And that's why you have to stay light while you work